What's up, everybody? Thought I'd go ahead and do a bit of a ramble roundup for some of the stuff we've seen 40k wise in the past few days or so, because we've seen some pretty cool stuff. There was a lot of Age of Sigmar, obviously, that they were showcasing because of that box set, and now they're showcasing 40k stuff, and this is pretty cool. So I want to give my 2 cents on all of that, and yeah, just have some fun with this. Let's do a bit of a ramble roundup here. So, um, with that said, the Kill Team Octarius box set is a new Kill Team box set. Apparently, rule stuff, whatever else. Looking at the models, though, it's fantastic. In that box set, you get Orc terrain, which I'm always a fan of non-Imperium terrain. I love Imperium terrain stuff. It makes sense given the situation of the setting of 40k kind of being very Imperium centric in terms of taking center stage for a lot of things. So a lot of wars and battles happen over Imperial space, or at least the Imperium's ruins. But always nice to see Xenos terrain, and Orc stuff is always cool. So that's cool to see. And the Orcs in the kill team are very nice, full of character and personalized and look fantastic. There's even an Orc snipery looking dude. I say sniper loosely. And I don't even know if it truly is a sniper, but it's got a scope on the massive gun, and it is generating a lot of jokes and memes with the celestial lions and the fact that, oh, the Inquisition didn't lie, there really is Orc snipers out there, and it's funny. But I think it looks fantastic, though. That's the way the model's set up. The Burna has a really weird face mask. I don't know how well you can see, but who cares when you got a flamethrower? And just all in all, the Orcs look fantastic. So really good job there for the Orcs in the Kill Team box. And on top of that, we're seeing even more Orcs on the horizon, which I really am digging. Now, I don't have any real desire to play Orcs, personally, but they're a fantastic force. And in the 40k setting, they are a great antagonist that can be used wherever plot dictates it. Whether it's a tabletop RPG, a video game, a novel, whatever it is, Orcs can be a baddie that's there and can also be the big bad problem, right? They are fantastic. And I do appreciate that. Plus, of course, they got a great fan base. But it's them and the Tyranids, honestly, that are the only two factions, in my opinion, that you could literally throw at any other faction or to each other, and with the Orcs amongst themselves even, without any real need to describe much of what's going on, right? The basics of the reasoning for this is, well, Orcs want a good fight and want to loot. And that's easy enough. Anywhere they go. Why are they invading a Tyranid world, or a world that the Tyranids are mopping up? Because the Tyranids put up a good fight, and they want a good fight. And maybe something on that world. Maybe there's a really shiny stick on that world, a shiny spear, or something, right? Or some type of weird prophesied thing by a weird boy on that planet, and the war boss decides, let's take it, and there's some bug boys down there, let's kill them, right? And a fantastical fight ensues, and they love it. That simple. So they're a fantastic force. And these models are fantastic as well. These models coming on the horizon, even the crazy, like, beastie things that are pulling these wagons, I'm all for it. It fits the Orc motif. Stuff like this, I'm not a fan of amongst the Space Wolves. And I bring them up only because there's similarities here. Having your hovercraft boat thing pulled by wolves or riding Thunderwolf cavalry as an Astartes force just doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't even matter that they're Viking themed-esque and Norse-esque theme. It just doesn't feel right. But for Orcs, having a weird beastie thing pull a big platform full of techie guns and whatever else, yeah, I could see an Orc doing that. It fits right in. We have, the gargantuan squiggles and stuff like that. So this fits in with the Orcs and their beasts and whatever else. So it works. I appreciate it. I also really like that we got, a snake bite totem on the rider of the Great White Squig. This is just a force that kind of has been in the background. I lost my train of thought for a second looking at the model. But yeah, what I mean by that is the snake bites are one of the big Orc tribes that we've known about forever. And typically when we see orc stuff, it's the Goths, it's the Evil Sons, it's Bad Moons. Those are the big three that tend to be showcased a lot. There's some others out there, of course. And, of course, the Speed Freaks, which is typically, Evil Sons are close with that. And then, of course, the Freebooters, the Pirates. So the Snake Bites kind of get left in the dust because they're a bit more primitive-y, a bit more, you can say, grassroots or whatever. They still have tech, as we see, but it's nice that they are just getting a showcase a little bit, and that we're not just making the orcs into a big amorphous green blob of hurt. Also, the boss hut thingamabob looks pretty cool as a terrain piece and a centerpiece for your collection. If you're an orc player, it just looks cool. I love seeing the ramshackle nature of orc stuff. So that leads to a lot of really cool painting potential. And if you want to go grim dark with orc terrain and pieces, it makes a whole lot of sense given the ramshackle nature. And you can go really crazy with it. So really like that. The new Orc Boy Squad is going to look great. The Death Counters are great. The detail on them is a lot better. The detail on the current Orc kits aren't bad, but there's definite improvement here, and I do appreciate that. So, looking good. With that said, Kill Team Octarius is a box set in which the Orcs fight the Ashramoltarum, and wouldn't you know it, it's none other than one of the most powerful regiments, in my opinion, the Deathcore Krieg. The Deathcore Krieg are attritional masters, siege masters, trench masters. They have no remorse for death and losses and casualties. Look up the lore of Krieg and everything else to understand why. They are all in gas masks. They are as eerie as basic human soldiers can get. They are so much inspired by a World War I aesthetic. It's a pseudo World War I inspirational aesthetic going on here, and it looks absolutely fantastic. And these plastic models really keep that and just further accentuate it. Being a kill team, they're much more characterized, each and every one of them, but they look great. And I love it. Deathcore Krieg would be more or less how I would want to collect basic Astra Militarum. And I say basic because Militarum Tempestus is a different beast. It's technically another regimental style of force, but they're different. And I like them a lot. They're newer, obviously, too, than the idea of the basic Imperial Guard regiment stuff. But the Deathcore Krieg have always been super cool, from their Forge World origins and their models, whatever else, to here. They look great. And I guess I'll address two things. I mean, A, we're looking at non-Grenadier style of Deathcore. Those have like a flak jacket type plate set up on their armor, but hey, it doesn't matter. Or on their person. And B, you'll notice none of them are wielding a shovel. I bring this up because there have been people joking for the meme about this and saying, hate it, no shovels. And there are people that are genuinely upset that the Deathcore is wielding a power sword, and I think that's a grenade. I'm not sure what the other one is wielding that looks like a club. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be one of the old style stick grenades or not. Instead of a shield, a shovel. They're not Shovel Knight, and that shovel thing's a meme. Yeah, they have shovels. They have entrenching tools, I guess is the proper term. And that's because of their style of warfare, the methodology. And yes, if that's all you have because your bayonet is broken or your gun's knocked out of your hand in close combat, I'll bust out my entrenching tool too. I'll bust out a shovel and smack somebody with it, and it's gonna hurt. But they're not super experts at shovel combat. It's just a meme, a joke that really took root with the happy gas mask noises and everything else, and works with the Deathcore given their style. And I say this full well expecting conversions for shovels, and I welcome it. I welcome the crazy conversions people are gonna do to get the shovel meme in there, and it'll look fantastic, but it is just a meme. Go for it though, I welcome it. I just wanted to bring that up because there are people, memeing on the meme with a joke about being upset about it, and there are actual genuine people upset about the fact that none of them have a shovel. But what you're gonna do? They still look fantastic, and I really hope this is the tip of an iceberg that maybe is a long play, maybe it's gonna be some time yet, but I'm hoping we'll see maybe a more generic Deathcore Krieg plastic kit, so you can really flesh out if you want to collect them for your 40k force and not just a kill team. That would be pretty sweet. Now this is a box set, and I imagine both for the Orks fans and the Deathcore Krieg fans that they will eventually sell what's in this box set separately, at least the infantry wise. I would hope anyway, but we'll have to wait and see. With that said, the last thing to bring up is the Grey Knights. I love the Grey Knights so much. And Castellan Crowe has been showcased on the horizon to come as a new model. Unhelmeted and helmeted, the Demon Sword Antweer, which is just such an OP sword in the lore. It's really not fair. Oh, it's an indestructible sword that always tries to speak to somebody to wield it unless it has a wielder, and then it tries to corrupt the wielder, so Castellan Crowe has to hold it. Not literally all the time, but he has to be in possession of it, so it only speaks to him, and he, being the leader of the Purifiers, is incorruptible and therefore can deal with it. Cool lore, but why is everything with chaos and demon blades and stuff like that to be kind of crazy over the top? But it's fine. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about the model, which looks fantastic. Now, admittedly, it seems a little big. Crowe is standing on top of some debris on his base, but even when you look at that and take that into account next to the Purifiers that he's standing with in that one picture, he looks bigger. Now, I'm not saying he's a Primaris. That's not what I'm saying at all. I don't think he would be able to be made into a Primaris because he's got to be constant steward of that blade, but whatever else. And I don't think we're going to see Primaris quite yet with Grey Knights, but also because he doesn't have the Primaris aesthetic going on with his armor. It still looks like traditional Grey Knight armor. So I think he's just been made bigulated a little bit, if you will. That's a technical term. Because he's a hero character. Just like Abaddon is quite large, despite the fact that he's a firstborn and not a Primarch or anything like that. I think this is part of the fact that, okay, to really accentuate the heroic nature of the character or the infamous nature of the character and to give a bit more detail, he's been made a bit bigger, or you could say true scaled or whatever else. But looks great. I really like the detail both on that blade and on Castellan Crowe's armor. And it's great. I got nothing else to say with that. Everything is very much taken from his old armor and added, right? He's got a little bit extra embellishments going on. And then in the comparison shot that they give, it definitely feels like his proportions are a little bit bigger. But it's a nice pose. I prefer with the helmet, but hey, unhelmeted for people who want that. And I really like that model. I gotta say, every time I look at Grey Knights, I want to collect them. I really do. I really like the Grey Knights a lot. So we'll see what the future holds. In any case, really cool model. One of the last things I wanted to bring up. I look forward to more Grey Knight stuff on the horizon as well. And Black Templars don't have a model yet or anything showcased, but they were brought up as something coming for the future at the very end of the showcasing of Kill Team Octaris, I should say. With Sword and Fury is a little teaser they gave for the Black Templar, which would be cool to see if they're going to give him some upgrade bits, maybe a Primaris-sized Emperor's Champion or something like that would be kind of interesting too. In any case, I look forward to seeing more of that on the horizon as well. With all that said, I've rambled on long enough. Thanks very much for tuning in and stopping by. Share your thoughts, likes, dislikes, indifference, doesn't matter. I look forward to learning more about all this stuff and seeing more come in the future, but of course, we have to be patient. So, for those that are upset that not much was shown for Tyranids, they were just discussed as being in the future. We have to wait. So, I look forward to all of that and more as it comes. In any case, thanks very much for coming by, and until next time, take it easy.